So how exactly do you pronounce Latinx? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joe Biden trying to convince people to get the shot when he was in Raleigh, North Carolina. But in my humble opinion, at least, he failed to do so. Not only did he fail to do so, he also probably offended quite a few people and also made others realize that he's not really all the way there. The lights are on, but ain't nobody home. He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal, a few trees short of a forest, a few fajitas and black beans short of a Chipotle bowl. You understand what I'm saying? Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to see and hear what he was saying, or at least attempting to say in Raleigh. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
There's a reason why it's been harder to get African Americans initially to get vaccinated, because they used to being experimented on. The Tuskegee Airmen and others. People have memories. People have long memories. It's awful hard as well to get Latinx vaccinated as well. Why? They're worried that they'll be vaccinated and deported. So look, from day one, something that Governor Cooper has been totally focused on is making sure we get as many people vaccinated, particularly people who don't have access to health care usually.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. Like I said, if he's trying to convince people to get the shot, that didn't really do it. You did not accomplish your task. You're not really going to change my mind at all, okay? If it's Steven Crowder, change my mind, you're not going to be successful at all right? That's first thing. But then let's break down some of the things that he said. He's talking about black folks. Now, right here, he was halfway right. I give him a little bit of credit. A little bit of credit. Now, the phrasing was still off, talking about black folks are used to getting experimented on. I'm not quite sure if I would say that, sir. Maybe I would say there's been a history of medical malpractice against the black community and things of that nature. But I wouldn't say, yeah, they used to getting worked on. Like, that's just what we do every day right now. Okay, so the phraseology, the phrasing of it was not very good, but I understood the point he was trying to make, and that was a valid point, because a lot of black folks don't want to get the shot because of prior things that happened to us. You know, it's just, and not only from Tuskegee, I'll talk about that in a minute, not only from Tuskegee, but also from some more recent things, Depo-Provera, a lot of other little trials and whatnot that just did not go very well. So he has a point there, but let's get back to Tuskegee. Now, this is, I think, a common misconception or a mistake people make. But when you are the president, you probably shouldn't be making it, because you have a whole staff of people that should be telling you what's going on. You can have a little hearing aid or whatever in your ear, and they can be giving you information. Okay, this is what happened. This is the event. Talk about it this way. Now, the Tuskegee Airmen, this was an all-black group of pilots in the U.S. Army Air Force back in World War II. Okay, now, obviously, World War II came about, like mid-1940s. The Tuskegee experiment is not related to that at all. The Tuskegee experiment started in Tuskegee, Alabama, at, by the way, Tuskegee Institute, which is a black college. That's a different story. And it was a U.S. government experimenting on, I think, 400 to 500 black men to study the effects of syphilis. They said that it was going to be, leading to a cure, and they were trying to find a cure. But even when the cure was found, which was a shot of penicillin early on, they did not give it to them, because the whole purpose was to study how somebody would die while having syphilis, but they never told the men that were part of the experiment. This went on from 1930 or so to after 1970. Okay, it was one of the worst things that ever happened in the U.S. Aside from slavery, of course, but I'm talking about in modern times, one of the worst things that ever happened was Tuskegee experiment. So, yeah, he had a point there, but he didn't really get it all the way. He was almost there, but I digress. Now, let's talk about Latinx, Latinx. First of all, I've never heard an Hispanic person refer to themselves as Latinx. And how do you even pronounce that? Is it Latinx, 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 as Joe Biden said? How do you pronounce this word? I have no idea, but I digress. I've never heard an Hispanic person refer to themselves as this. Usually when they talk about their nationality or whatever, their ethnicity, they talk about their country of origin or their parents' country of origin. Mexican, Guatemalan, Salvadorian, Honduran. That's what they say. Or they might be from Spain, Spanish, Cuba, Dominican. I never hear Latinx or Latinx. I don't really hear Hispanic that much, quite frankly. I hear country of origin or Hispanic after that. Latinx, never. Matter of fact, I think there was a poll that said that like 0.3% of people that are Hispanic refer to themselves as Latinx or Latinx or Latinx or whatever you want to call it. This is not a very well known term. It's not a very widely used term. Now, why do they use the term Latinx or Latinx? Because it's non-gendered. Because if you say Latina or Latino, these are gendered terms, okay? The A on the end of Latin, Latina refers to an Hispanic female. Latino refers to an Hispanic male, okay? So these terms are outdated because they're gendered. So according to what Joe Biden did, not by what he said specifically, but by what he did saying Latinx, the gender terms Latina and Latino, these are outdated. They shouldn't be used anymore. You got to use the gender non-conforming Latinx, all right? You got to use the woke version of your particular ethnicity. Now, how do Hispanics, anybody from Central America or wherever you are, how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. But probably like the top two worst things here was first the Tuskegee kind of kerfuffle, but I think maybe even worse than that was this whole thing about Hispanics are afraid to get the vaccine because they are afraid they're going to get deported. It's like, what? What's that got to do with it? All right, look, check it out. If I'm in Walgreens, right, and I get the shot, how is this lady that's giving me the shot going to deport me if I'm illegal? And just because I'm Hispanic, if I was Hispanic, why would I be illegal? Just because I'm Hispanic, like because I'm Mexican or whatever, I got to be over here illegally? I mean, you do have legal immigrants that come from Central America. You do have legal people that maybe were even born here, people that's been here 3, 4, 5 generations, people that's been here longer than Joe Biden's family. So how can you even sit there and say that? You're racist. But this is what the left does. They'll gaslight and project. They'll say that those on the right, you guys are the racist, you guys stereotype people. Here you have Joe Biden. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright as white kids. And, you know, these Latinx people, they're afraid to get the shot because they might get deported. That's what they think in their mind. Who thinks that? All right. If you're here illegally, you can get deported at any time, regardless of what you're doing. But not all Hispanic people are here illegally. You have legal immigrants, and like I said, and also those that have been here for generations, born here. Their families go back like in Texas to like the 1700s. So this whole thing is just silly, but this is what people voted for. Allegedly, 81 million people allegedly voted for this man. This is what you get. But is anybody surprised? This is what Joe Biden is. This is what Joe Biden does. This is who Joe Biden is. We have all known this for a very long time. And the more we see from him, the more we are confirmed in our beliefs. We knew what it was from the very beginning. Nobody should be surprised. And if you are, well, good luck with that, because you're going to see a whole lot more comments just like that over the coming days, weeks, months, years, perhaps. You're going to see a lot more. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Are you surprised at all at what Joe Biden said? Is what Joe Biden said racist? Is it prejudice? How are you just going to say that Hispanic people are afraid to get deported? like everybody that's Hispanic is illegal. So let me get this straight, Joe Biden. According to what you said, I'm just trying to just draw some conclusions and get to the bottom of it. If you're not white, that means you're poor. Okay, so non-white equals poor. If you're Hispanic, you're an illegal alien. If you are white, that means you're successful. That means you're smart. That means you're just the best, right? It's weird how I always hear this whole thing about the right. They love white supremacists. They are white supremacists. But if I didn't know any better, maybe I do know better. But anyway, if I didn't know any better, I'd say Joe Biden is the white supremacist and the racist. According to what he says, you know, maybe he'll say something different. He says, oh, I'm not racist, I'm not white supremacist. But, you know, you say quite a few things that tell me something different. And some of your actions speak louder than your words. But hey, you guys know where I'm at with it. This is prototypical Joe Biden. This is what he does. I am not surprised in the least bit. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.